Hi, and welcome today to another Gesher Galicia podcast. My name is Stephen Turner, and I am the president of Gesher Galicia. Joining me today is Darcy Stamler, Treasurer of Gesher Galicia, and our guest Igor Perelman, the secular head of the Ivano-Frankivsk Jewish community, and Tetiana Yavirnytska, who is a school teacher and an interpreter who has been invaluable to us over the past several years in helping us communicate with our contacts in Ukraine. Igor does not speak English, so Tetiana will translate for him. Please bear with us. We will try to make this as seamless as possible. Igor Perelman is the secular head of the Ivano-Frankivsk Jewish community and works closely with Rabbi Moshe Kolesnik of the Temple Synagogue in that regard. The community is very active in caring for refugees fleeing the fighting in eastern Ukraine, and Igor has been involved in purchasing and distributing aid with funds donated from the Gesher Galicia Emergency Campaign for the Ukrainian Galician Jewish community. 2 weeks ago, while distributing some of that aid, he was attacked and stabbed 3 times. Thank God his injuries were not life-threatening. Tetiana is someone who I first came into contact with through the help she has given the Nadvirna Shtetl Research Group. She lives in Nadvirna, which is the current name of the town, and is in the Ivano-Frankivsk Oblast. My father was born in Nadvirna, and I founded the group in 2013. She has helped us greatly in dealing with the town and others in caring for the Nadvirna Jewish cemetery. Darcy's family had been living in nearby Mikaluchin during the war, and Tetiana helped Darcy in constructing and placing a monument there to the Jews killed in the mass shooting during the Shoah. Let's get started. Okay, so now I'm going to start with some questions for Igor. Is Igor ready, Tetiana?
Ігор, ви готові? Ті готові питання? Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
please.
this is going to be a little complicated because I'm going to ask the question in English, and Tetiana is going to ask Igor in Ukrainian, and Igor is going to answer Tetiana in Russian, who will then tell us in English. So please bear with us, but this is a multi-nation, multi-language podcast. Okay, questions for Igor now. When my wife spoke to Rabbi Kolesnik after Igor was stabbed, the rabbi said that there are so many refugees in this city of Ivano-Frankivsk, and people are really going crazy. Would you say that is still the case now, Igor?
Ігор, Стів питає, що коли з вами стався цей інцидент, дружина Стіва подзвонила Ребе Колеснику спитатися за ситуацію з вами, і Ребе пояснив, що в місті дуже багато біженців. І від цієї ситуації в країні все просто дуже напружене, всі ніби сходять з розуму. Чи ви б підтвердили цей факт, що це дійсно так, така напруга ситуація?
Ні. No.
No, okay, I understood that. Okay. It's good to hear. It's good to hear. Now, we know that the airport in Ivano-Frankivsk was attacked by Russian missiles. Has there been any other recent attacks by the Russians in the Ivano-Frankivsk area?
Також відомо, що російські бомби збивали аеропорт Франківську. Чи відомо, чи були якісь нещодавно знов атаки, спроба його бомбардувати?
Ну, в ближайшее время, вот за последнее время, то есть было несколько попыток, но они были пресечены Збройными силами Украины. То есть сработало ЗСУ здорово, и как бы, то есть никаких, будем говорить так, пошкоджень, и что такого ничего не получилось у русских.
Mhm. So Igor says there were a few attempts of the Russians to bomb the airport again, but the Ukrainian military managed to prevent this, and they hit the bombs while they were flying, so there were no strikes
Right,
at
right.
the airport.
Have the frequency of air raid sirens been reduced? And do people get less nervous when they hear them now?
Ігоре, чи зменшилась кількість повітряних сирен, тривог в місті, і чи люди перестали менше стресувати по поводу цього?
Вот ты ж, Таня, приезжаешь в город, наоборот, вот смотри, за вчера, за сегодня, за цей, наоборот, как бы
Збільшилась кількість.
сейчас нет такого, что, допустим, воздушная тревога, повітряная тревога, конкретно там в Ивано-Франковске или где-то, то есть объявляется тревога по всей Украине. И независимо, куда оно полетит или чего, тревога объявляется по всей Украине. Естественно, сразу транспорт весь прекращает движение, магазины все людей эвакуируют. То есть вот как метро, так там есть бомбоубежище, всех сразу в бомбоубежище. То же самое во всех закладах низких и таких. То есть однозначно прекращается движение, прогулки. Ну, народ относится кто-то серьезно, кто-то к этому делу так шуточками. Думаю, что это все игрушки еще.
Угу. Ну, не зменшилась їхня кількість
Нет.
повітряних тривог. Okay. So Igor says that the frequency of air sirens did not reduce, but nowadays, when we hear the air sirens, it means it goes off on the whole territory of the country. And when this happens, many people rush to the bomb shelters. Some people take this really seriously. They feel really scared. Some people don't take it really seriously. So let's say there are two ways people treat this, accept this.
Thank you. Darcy?
Okay. So Igor, we learned from the rabbi a few weeks ago, there were approximately 40,000 refugees in the city of Ivano-Frankivsk. How many do you think there are in the city now? Has that number been reduced by much? Has it grown? Do you have any idea about the number of Ukrainian refugees now in the city?
Дарсі питається, що вони, коли розмовляли з Ребе Колесником кілька тижнів тому, він казав, що в місті знаходилось близько 40 тисяч біженців. Чи зараз кількість їхня зросла, чи зменшилась? Збільшилася. So, yes, there
We can't see
number
what
of
he's
refugees.
doing, so you got to explain that.
The number of refugees has increased.
Has increased, okay.
Yes.
Got
By
it.
a lot? By a lot?
На дуже сильно.
Ну, я не могу сказать, насколько. Вот сегодняшний пример. Сегодня у меня при поддержке благотворительного фонда Life Changer, это израильского, значит, они для переселенцев и для цей, ну, выделили там энное количество, энную сумму, чтобы помогать переселенцам. Вот сегодня утром с 10 часов, с 10 утра, я не преувеличиваю, до 11 в течение 1 часа на ровном месте 5 семей из Харькова. За час 5 семей из Харькова, это которые приехали в течение суток. Все евреи с документами. Возраст от 22 до 87 лет.
So Igor says today he can give an example that from 10 a.m. till 1 a.m. within 1 hour, they received 5 families from Kharkiv, all Jewish, age from 22 up to 87. So the amount of people is increasing who are coming to Ivano-Frankivsk.
Okay, Gotcha. Thank you. What is the feeling in the city these days? Do people go to work? Is there any kind of normal life that is happening, taking place?
Яке зараз відчуття в місті? Чи люди повертаються до нормального життя, ходять на роботу, живуть звичним життям? Як вони себе поводять у Франківську?
Ну, Франкивск живет, будем говорить, мирной жизнью, но все, как говорится, ну, на боевом посту. То есть магазины работают, предприятия, какие по возможности есть, работают, особенно те, что какую-то оказывают ЗСУ и все остального работают. То есть есть какая-то часть, ну, это в основном частные предприниматели, ну, которые из-за этого все пострадали и не могут тянуть бизнес, закрыты. А так сказать, что, ну, ты же в городе бываешь, видишь, что, то есть, что у нас прям тут такая страшная беда, нельзя, потому что, ну, сильно Европа помогает, видеть, то есть с Польши, с Германии, с Австрии, Испания, Италия, помощь идет. Просто ну, будем говорить, не всегда эта помощь, ну, будем говорить, как бы нельзя говорить, одаренному коню зубы не смотрят, но, ну, есть просто люди хотят помочь, ну, вот собачий корм. Зачем нужен собачий корм вот сейчас в войну, скажи мне, здесь, в Ивано-Франковской области? Нам такую помощь предложили, мы просто взяли, я нашел.
Okay. So Igor says that people in Ivano-Frankivsk are trying to live peaceful life. It means they trying to do their normal things, but at the same time, they're always alert. He also says that all enterprises, businesses, especially which give aid or help to the Ukrainian soldiers are working. Of course, small businesses are closed, which could not survive the economical situation in the country at the moment, so they are closed. But those which can work, they open and they work. And Igor says this is also with the help of from Europe. And I can add for myself that in Nadvirna, people also try to live their normal life. My mom goes to work every day, but they have this shift work on weekends because in the building where she works, there is a bomb shelter, so it has to be open 24/7. So all people who have jobs, they go to work. All the enterprises, businesses, establishments, shops, supermarkets, banks also open.
So I have another question related. What is happening to the pricing, the price of goods? Is it significantly rising? Can you both Ihor and yourself talk about that, Tetiana?
So, Ігор, Дарсі питається, що стосовно цін? Чи дуже різкі перепади в цінах? Дуже сильно піднялися за останній час.
Есть некоторые товары в 2 раза, в 2,5 раза.
So Igor says that yes, even some products, the prices of some products has been doubled.
And is it hard to get items?
Важко дістати продукти?
Ну, нельзя сказать, все равно есть друзья, помогают. Что аж с Одессы заказываю, чтобы пришло. То есть вот практически, допустим, вот смотри, вот гречка пропала полностью, то есть дефицит. И вот если как по ценам, если она стоила там 39-40 гривен, сейчас 70.
So Igor says, well, there are still, actually, let's say, most products are available. If something is not available, we can order. For example, Igor says he can order some stuff from Odessa. And regarding the prices, he says, for example, buckwheat, a well-known buckwheat in Ukraine, he says the price, it used to be 40 hryvnias per pack. Now it's 70 hryvnias per pack.
Wow. What is that object? What is it again? What's
buckwheat,
that?
I think.
Buckwheat. It's kind of a grain, popular grain in Ukraine, buckwheat. It's called buckwheat.
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 Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Tetiana, I have some questions for you now.
Okay.
I know from speaking to you lately, we're in touch from time to time, you said that everybody's nerves were on edge in Nadvirna. Would you say that it's gotten any better after the Russian retreat from their loss in the Battle of Kyiv?
Well, I can't say so. The thing is, many people that I know, my friends and acquaintances, left Nadvirna and they moved to Poland because of the air sirens and the threat we can expect from the Russian troops any moment. The thing is that there is no place in Ukraine that is safe. So we all understand this and we are always alert. Even personally, when I hear a sound of an airplane or a helicopter, I become numb. For a few seconds, I need to understand that, okay, it's probably our aircraft, no need to worry. And especially during the windy weather, sometimes I hear the sound of the wind, and sometimes it seems to me that it's an airplane or some engine is working, and I get really stressed out. A couple of weeks ago, in the middle of the night, I just jumped out of my bed because I heard a horrible like explosion or something, but it took me like 3 seconds to understand that it was not a bomb. It just a strong wind slammed the door of the lobby of the building where I live.
Right.
So I thought I was going crazy. With the time, I think I get used to it, but I really don't want to get used to eat and live like this. And I want to go back to normal life where I can accept the noise and I can understand there is no threat in it. It's just the noise. It's just the aircraft. It's just the wind.
Right. Now, have there been any attacks in the Nadvirna area?
No, there have, as far as I know, no. But I heard from other people that there were some missiles sent to Delatin and Pasichna. These are the nearby villages in Nadvirna. And of course, we have this big oil plant in Nadvirna, which is being really well protected. Hopefully it will be safe.
Now, you told me before that you used to spend some nights at your grandmother's house because she lives in a more isolated rural area. Do you still do that?
No, I stopped because it's quite uncomfortable to carry all my stuff from one place to another. Maybe because the thing is, I switched off the air siren alarm application on my mobile phone because it stresses me a lot. So whenever I see the air siren, I can read a message on my phone. So I decided not to rush anywhere, not to hide anywhere. I'm really tired of living like this. So
how is your grandmother?
She's fine, thank you. She tries to visit us every evening, even like this. Yes, because we have 5 cats, and she says she learned a new word, cat therapy. So now she comes to get her cat therapy instead of watching the news on TV. So now she stopped watching the news, and I keep convincing her every evening, Grandma, we are winning, so don't worry.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Darcy?
So have Tetiana, what changes have you seen in the town of Nadvirna? And have you seen many changes, I guess, in terms of the population makeup, and do you see many refugees there?
I do. I've noticed a lot of new people in my town. Sometimes it feels like I'm in another town. I'm not in my hometown because there are a lot of unknown people, like refugees, strangers, people that I've never seen before. Many of them are like families with children, elderly people with their pets walking downtown. And many people are renting the apartments in my town for their families, and some refugees do still at schools. So they have provided some bed space and some food space for the refugees, so that some of them are living in schools in my hometown.
Gotcha. And then regarding, supplies and merchandise that's available in stores, is there enough to choose from in the stores? Are they fully stocked? Is it hard to get things? How is all that going?
Well, what I've noticed in Nadvirna, from time to time, we still can see empty shelves, but there is, we are not panicking because we know we can get all necessary stuff, especially nowadays. At the beginning, it was tough because most shelves in most stores were empty. So it was pretty scary. But nowadays, we can get all necessary stuff. Something that is not enough or is missing can be brought to the stores later. Like the shop assistants tell us, you can come another day or in 2-3 days and we'll get this stuff and you can come and get that.
Gotcha. And so you're a teacher. I know you're English as a second language teacher there. And my understanding, from talking to you over the past couple of years, most of this is done online, right? As opposed to in the classroom. How is that working right now? Is that still going for you and the students and all?
It is going, and all the students nowadays don't go to school, don't have in-class learning, only online learning, because the refugees are living in schools nowadays. So all schools are working online.
Wow. Okay. And everyone's getting their work done somehow. The homework is
they are trying as much as they can.
Right. I understand. Okay. And then in terms of so I think we were talking a little while ago about people who have left Nadvirna, and some gone to Poland. Do you think they're there, people that you've known who have left Ukraine, do you think they have left for good, or do you think they're mostly waiting it out?
Well, my friends that I know, they just left because they were really scared. They left at the end of February or beginning of March. They are planning to come back, but they are not sure when exactly. Some are saying probably at the end of May, but the others are saying probably at the end of this summer.
Okay, good.
Right.
Okay, now we're going to turn to Igor again and talk about that terrible attack. Okay. The first thing I want to say is that he scared the daylights out of us. I was on my way to work 2 weeks ago when Darcy calls me and she says, "Did you see the news online?" And no, I did not see it because I left for work and I didn't go online before I started to drive to work. And the news was, she says, Igor was stabbed and killed. You want to translate that for me?
Yes. So, Ігоре, тепер повертаємося до вас. До тієї ситуації, яка сталася 2 тижні тому, коли на вас напали. Дарсі подзвонила Стіву, коли він якраз їхав на роботу, і спиталася: Стіва, ти чув новини про Ігоря? Стів каже: ні, не чув. Дарсі каже: в новинах з інтернету сказано, що на Ігора напали і його вбили. І ми всі були просто в шоці.
Well, so then, I mean, I got all shaken up. Darcy was all shaken up. And she started to read the comments. This was a Facebook post that Igor was killed, put up by our friend Vitaly, right? And she started to read the comments, and one comment said, "But Igor is okay." We go, what?
Well, right. And what happened, and maybe Igor probably doesn't know this, and Tetiana, I don't think you ever saw the original post on Facebook. But so Vitaly had posted in Russian that Igor was attacked, and Facebook for the
and stabbed 3 times.
Well, just hang on. Yeah, I mean, Vitaly had posted in Russian. in Russian language, and Facebook automatically translated it for English speakers. Facebook knows who speaks English. So the translation the English speakers received automatically was an incorrect translation. It translated as Ihor had been stabbed to death.
Yes, I remember when you said that to me.
Right. Right, right.
You want to translate that for Igor?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Ігоре, значить, така ситуація. Дарсі побачила пост Віталія Камозіна російською мовою. І Фейсбук в Дарсі автоматично переклав з російської на англійську, де писала, що Ігора нанесли ножові поранення до смерті. І почали читати коменти Стів і Дарсі, бо коли вони почули це, то їх почало трясти, мене теж. І вони кажуть, в один з коментів писали, що з Ігорем все окей, все добре.
Right.
Yeah.
So what I did, while I was on the phone with Steve and we're shaking in our boots, I found the original Russian post that Vitaly had made, and I was able to, get it translated between my software program and myself, and learned that no, he had been stabbed 3 times was what the post was. Yeah.
Okay, so first I want to ask Igor, how are you feeling?
Yeah. Значить, Ігоре, в першу чергу хочу спитати Стіві Дарсі, як ви почуваєтеся зараз?
Нормально. Все уже позади.
So Igor says, all right, he feels all right, everything's behind.
Well, does he have any injuries that are concerning to him or the doctor? Or any pain or anything like that?
У вас такі поранення, що вам треба консультуватися в лікаря регулярно, чи ви якийсь біль відчуваєте, дискомфорт?
Ну, я хожу, вот я уже 2 раза ходил на судебно-медицинскую экспертизу, швы уже сняли, что было нанесено там, самые такие тяжелые. То есть уже швы сняли, уже здесь скобки сняли тоже. Ну, на консультацию хожу раз в неделю хожу.
Okay. Igor sees the doctor once a week. He has already visited the doctor twice on the matter, and they have already removed the stitches on his wounds.
Good, because thank God the wound missed the carotid artery. And that just by a small amount, I understand. So God was looking out for Igor that day. Okay, and so can Igor give a description of what happened that led to the attack?
Ігоре, Стів питається, чи ви б могли пояснити, що сталося, що призвело до нападу?
Ну, как я говорил, без комментариев. Тут комментировать, человек неадекватный, у человека Мишигин, не все в голове, наверное. Как можно было, он же ничего не говоря, стал наносить удары там с разными этими матершинными всякими этими словами в наш адрес. И он вообще думал, когда его поймали через 2 часа, то есть человек знал, на что идет, он спрятал нож. То есть нож потом нашли, но он спрятал в водосточную трубу. Знаешь, и то есть его когда поймали, спросили, ты знаешь, что ты сделал? Он говорит, да, я убил.
Він сказав, що я його вбив, так?
Да.
So Igor says that this man was totally and is totally inadequate. He started stabbing Igor without saying anything. And Igor says that when the police caught the man after 2 hours, the man had hidden his knife in the gutters. So when the policeman asked him, do you know what you have done? He says, yes, I have killed him.
Does Igor think that anti-Semitism was involved in any way?
Стів питає, ви вважаєте, що антисемізм був в якійсь мірі проявлений з його боку?
Понимаешь, я не хочу эту тему разжигать, меня просили не поднимать эти вопросы. То есть высказывания были в наш адрес, в мой конкретно, сейчас просто такое время, что просят просто, не раскручивать эту тему на этой почве. Знаешь, обстановка и так накручена, и чтобы не разжигать это... Конечно, если бы это было в мирное время, было все по-другому. Я бы это конечно, раздул сильно. А так
Мгм.
он знал, человек знал, что мы там делаем. То есть это же было как раз там, где мы кормим благодійными обедами людей, он знает, кто там ест. То есть человек готовился. Ну как, если он обошел всю территорию, он посмотрел, где камеры, какие камеры, чтобы его не видно было.
Мгм.
Что тут можно еще комментировать, говорить?
Okay, so
Просто
Igor,
человек больной, по-другому у меня слов других нет.
okay, so Igor doesn't want to give comments on that a lot because he thinks that the man is totally inadequate. But this man knew exactly what he was doing because Igor says that the man before the attack had a tool, like took a look around the area where the aid was given away, like the place
Yeah,
where
let me
they were
just
feeding people.
interrupt, excuse me, just to say that Ihor was attacked while distributing food parcels to needy people in Ivano-Frankivsk, and okay, go ahead. Tetiana.
Yes, so probably Igor says that the man knew the area and he checked where the cameras were, and so probably he knew what he was doing. Igor says he's sure about that. So he's totally inadequate.
And what witnesses said that he was screaming anti-Semitic remarks during the attack.
Стів каже, що свідки стверджують, що під час нанесення ударів він кричав антисемітичні вигуки. Це правда?
Да.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, I understand there's a trial coming up and it might be, you have to watch what he says now. Yeah, okay. You want to go ahead, Darcy?
So speaking of that, we know that the attacker is being held right now in jail. And when do we think the trial will be taking place? Or is there a trial? What happens next? Yeah.
Ігоре, Дарсі питається, що буде далі? Злочинець знаходиться в в'язниці, і
Да.
коли буде суд?
Еще идет судовое дослідження, там адвокаты у него, он нанял адвокатов, он там его пытается обелить, сделать больным, сделать сей. Я думаю, что, еще, наверное, с месяц суда не будет.
Мгм.
Я думаю, что еще будет тянуться, пару недель точно.
So Igor is not sure when exactly the trial is going to happen. Igor says that the man has hired some lawyers who are working on his case, and probably they are trying to make him mentally sick or something like that. So this like kind of investigation is still in the process. So Igor thinks that maybe in a month the trial will happen.
And then who represents Igor? Is it does the city represent Igor?
Ігор, а хто вас представляє в суді? Місто чи спеціальна якась людина?
Нет, значит, когда сделать, нет, специальный человек, наш адвокат, еврей, наш.
Ваш адвокат. Okay, Igor is being represented by our person, a Jewish lawyer.
A Jewish lawyer for him. Okay, gotcha. And then back to the city. Has the city come to Igor to express their concern for Igor? Any of the city officials, have they communicated to Igor their concerns about what happened and hope for his well-being? Has any of that taken place on the part of the city of Ivano-Frankivsk?
Ігор, Дарсі питається, чи міська влада проявила якусь стурбованість до цього випадку, якось співчуття, допомогу в цій справі? Вони якось це проявили?
Співчуття і ці регулярні дзвонки від всіх властей. Допомоги, конечно, про какую допомогу може бути речь? Ніякої допомоги ніхто не цей, но звонят, спрашивают власти, то есть начиная от мэра, заканчивая там и губернатор, и прокуратура, и все структуры, то есть как бы, на нашей стороне, и то есть, будем говорить так, морально поддерживают все.
Oh, okay. So Igor says that the city representatives support Igor with their phone calls, checking up on him, how he feels. He says all the official structures are on Igor's side. And Igor has already spoken to the mayor, to the gubernator, like all the officials of the city.
Okay, all right. You know, and we know that I think it was about 6 months, 9 months, somewhere in the past year or so. I know that we know that the city, I mean, the synagogue there was a security cameras were set up at the synagogue for, you know, for safety and so forth. And our question is, does Igor think that, you know, given that this was there was some anti-Semitism as the basis of this attack, and given the current climate, given the war, given the, you know, number of refugees in the city and the whole situation, the whole climate, does Igor think that does Igor think that the synagogue is safe right now from potential harm, from potential, you know, bad actors?
Дарсі питається, в даний момент синагога знаходиться в безпеці, враховуючи момент, що зараз війна, багато біженців в місті, і встановили камери нагляду. Синагога в безпеці?
Ну,
Від таких, ну, от, неприємностей, таких от людей неадекватних.
Ну, какая может быть? Ну, камеры стоят, все, ну и что дальше? Ну, камеры есть, и что дальше? Нет уже у нас, никто не охраняет синагогу, нету, ну кто, ну что, ну раввин и я вдвоем. Раввин вверху, я внизу. Вот и вся охрана, ну кто? Вы же видели сами, что он сидит один в синагоге, допустим, никого нету. То есть мы вы же прекрасно же понимаете, ты, Таня, знаешь, что у нас когда-то была охрана, когда было финансирование, когда можно было, чтобы какой-то security был на входе, и чтобы видел, кто заходит, кто выходит. Были электронные замки, это сломалось, это стоит кучу денег, но нереально мы не сможем это, не потянем. И даже, допустим, если поставить кодовый замок, ну, стоит кучу денег, кто его поставит? Чтобы раввин даже поставить этот домофон, чтобы раввин видел на двери, кто приходит, даже кучу денег где-то взять. Я считаю, что у нас вообще никакой безопасности в синагоге нет.
І на
Вы
даний
сами
момент...
прекрасно видели, что днем может зайти кто хочет и подняться наверх к раввину.
Ігоре, а на даний момент ви відчуваєтеся в безпеці, чи все-таки небезпека якась відчувається?
У меня есть друзья, я сам не хожу, мы всегда, кто-то рядом есть постоянно. Но я даже не мог предположить, что в Ивано-Франковске может такое вот, чтобы на меня... Я мирный человек, я мирный.
Окей, зараз я це все перекладу тоді. Darcy, Steve, Igor says that they do have the security cameras. Rabbi Kolesnik has office upstairs. Igor stays usually downstairs. So there are no other security guards in the synagogue and only the security cameras. So anyone can enter the building, leave the building. But Igor says he's trying to stay with someone else, not to stay all alone. And Igor says he considers himself to be a peaceful, nice man, and he would have never
we agree with that.
That something could have happened to him in Ivano-Frankivsk.
Yes. Now, Igor has a military background, right? He was in the army for many years. What's his background?
Ігор, Стів питається, ви маєте все-таки якийсь воєнний досвід в житті? Ви служили в армії, так?
Да.
Yes, Igor served in the army.
Okay. Okay, so now we'd like to wrap up by talking about Passover. What kind of plans is the community making for Passover? Will there be a community Seder? Are you able to get matzah?
Okay, Steve, I'm not really aware of this terminology.
Seder is the Passover meal. It's a community, a meal.
Yeah. You can ask him about plans for Passover at the temple. Yeah. if there are any plans right now for a community Passover gathering.
Passover gathering for...
Passover, the holiday of Passover. Yeah.
Окей.
Yeah.
Ігоре, якісь є плани для свята, яке наближається Пасовер? Пасха, так я розумію?
Pesach.
Yeah.
Песах. Ага. Якісь є
Конечно,
плани
есть.
для святкування?
Будем проводить 4 седера. Все как положено, будет в синагоге. Ну, вечером из-за комендантского часа ничего не будет, а в субботу первый седер в 10 часов собираемся в синагоге. Все как это. Народу будет, думаю, много, потому что очень много приезжих, и которые, ну, хотят прийти. Спрашивают мацы пока у нас еще нету, ждем. Но уже сок, шмира есть. Что-то купим, что-то будет. Ну, то, что вечером нет, из-за комендантского часа нет, а днем 4 седера будем проводить.
Uh-huh. So Igor says they're going to have the celebration as usual, but not in the evening hours because of the curfew hours.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and are they able to get matzah?
Маца, ви зможете отримати мацу?
Ну, я жду, обещают прислать, с Израиля обещают прислать, еще прислать, пока нет.
Okay. Igor says they don't have it at the moment, but they are promising to send it from Israel.
From Israel. Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
So Israel, matzah
And
will
probably,
become.
and probably some other place.
Maybe Poland. Yeah.
Можливо, з Польщі.
Okay. So I think that this went very well, and I want to wish Ihor a refuah shlema, full refuah shlema, and mazal tov, and for Ihor, Chag Sameach, Zisen Pesach.
All right.
He got his kosher wine, so, and a Seder plate. Okay, very nice, very good. So the Perelman family. Oh, beautiful. He's showing us some pictures from Passover. So the Perelman family will have a nice Passover Seder. I'm just telling Darcy that for Passover, families get together and they have a Seder. Well, they tell the story of the Exodus from Egypt, of the Jews when they were slaves in Egypt. So this is a holiday celebrating freedom. And I want to tell the people that before we started recording, I asked Ihor if he had any questions, and his question to me was, when will we win? And my answer is, you already won. The question is, when will this end?
Right.
And we pray this holiday for all the Ukrainians and for peace and safety and good health for everybody, and that this ends quickly. Tetiana, I know the Orthodox Easter will not be for a few weeks, right, Tetiana? When is your Easter?
April 20th, April 24th.
April 24th. So we wish you and your family safety and a very happy holiday. And we wish all our friends of Gesher Galicia, Zisen Pesach, and a kosher Pesach, and may you all celebrate with your families with good health, and telling you that we at Gesher Galicia are going to try to keep you informed on the situation in Ukraine. And of course, we'd love to have anyone who's not a member become a member of Gesher Galicia. And I want to make an appeal for our Ukrainian Jewish Galician Fund that we have set up from Gesher Galicia. You could go to the homepage of our website, and there's a button there that you could make a donation. And all this money gets spent with Jewish organizations in Ukraine, in the former areas of Galicia. Ihor has, and the Ivano-Frankivsk Jewish community has received a donation from that fund, and Ihor has purchased supplies and food to help feed people with donations from that fund, and he was giving out food when he was stabbed. and we all could use your help, and we thank those, the response, who have already donated. The response has been fantastic. So I want to thank everybody, and if you have any questions, please write to info@geshergalicia.org. Thank you, Igor. Thank you, Tetiana. Thank you, Darcy, and Chag Sameach, everybody.
And Tetiana и Igor, yeah, мы желаем вам здоровья и мы желаем успехов.
Спасибо.
Okay, Darcy.
Благодарю.
Putting her Russian lessons to use.
Darcy, во!
Okay.
Okay. Laila Tov, everybody.
Very good.
Thank you.